Diversity denotes to the fact that various people with numerous differences exist within a society or group. These differences can include socioeconomics, power, privilege, class, ethnicity, language, gender, age, ability, sexual orientation, and all other aspects of culture. Structures such as racism, sexism, ethnocentrism, heterosexism, and ableism produce unfair advantages by guaranteeing access to societal benefits for some members and hampering access to those same societal benefits for others. Throughout the years, educators have been familiar with the idea that a significant step necessary for initiating change in reducing educational gaps is to recognize that barriers exist concerning differences, such as those in socioeconomics, ethnicity, language, ability, gender, sexual orientation, and many other facets of culture. A quality education is being viewed more and more in the United States as a necessary ingredient to achieving success and its resulting financial strength. Nevertheless, higher education continues to be a bonus enjoyed at a disproportionate level by those in a higher socioeconomic status, otherwise known as SES. C. Wright Mills states, "The one deep experience that distinguishes the social rich from the merely rich, and those below, is their schooling, and with it, all the associations, the sense and sensibility, to which this education routine leads throughout their lives." A quality education requires money, and studies show that affluent parents are ready to apply their resources towards giving their children the ability to have an advantage over the other students, while parents in a lower SES may not put as high of a priority on spending extra resources on enhancements to education. Sociologists and psychologists agree that those who live within a higher SES have significant benefits over their counterparts who survive at a lower SES. There are no real benefits to a lack of socioeconomic diversity in schools. The challenges exist in missed opportunities to increase the diversity within the educational system, empower talented and gifted students, and develop further discourse within education. Heritage Christian Schools has an educational achievement gap that exists based on socioeconomic status. The target population of this issue at Heritage Christian Schools are elementary and junior high students who are of a lower socioeconomic status. Remediation at Heritage Christian Schools is limited to those students who are chosen by the tutor from the population of students in the school that are in the highest socioeconomic statuses. There are no remediation options for students of a lower SES. The cost of remediation at Heritage is an hourly tutoring fee that is above and beyond the tuition to attend the school. This causes an achievement gap based on SES because students from a lower SES cannot afford the help needed to succeed fully. This will hold true through college where, quote, "the vast majority of students come from families in the top quarter of the income distribution, in spite of the fact that high-achieving students are much more evenly distributed throughout the socioeconomic strata," end quote. If remediation problems persist due to a lack of money, the student will fall farther and farther behind their more affluent peers. The achievement gap will increase due to their socioeconomic status. Heritage Christian Schools need to obtain detailed assessment tools to be used by well-trained professionals to determine whether a student needs to participate in the remediation program rather than the student's SES. Scholarships need to be made available for the students from the school who require remediation and their families in lower socioeconomic statuses. Heritage Christian Schools needs to acquire the appropriate assessment tools and provide proper training opportunities for anyone who will be using them. The next step would be to establish an individual education plan, or an IEP team, to assess the students to determine their need for remediation and establish an IEP process that the team would go through with the teacher and parents to determine the strategy for student success that would be implemented. The final step would be to approach the Heritage School Board about establishing a line item in the budget for remediation scholarships, so that the students from lower socioeconomic statuses would not be prohibited from the help they need. Improved academic support for lower SES students would allow for student remediation regardless of their family's socioeconomic statuses, because cost would no longer be an issue. Another benefit would be the opportunity to invest in the gifted students within the school, notwithstanding their socioeconomic status. Gifted students will be able to achieve their potential despite a possible need for remediation in a subject. The final benefit that is readily obvious would be the opportunity to enhance a wider understanding of socioeconomically diverse students, which would benefit the entire student body. All students benefit from exposure and acceptance of diversity in all its many forms.